Welcome back to part number 14 of my Epirus playthrough for Imperator Rome. We are in the middle of a sort of a pesky war with the Antigonid Kingdom. One of our claims didn't hit. We had to refile. We sort of have been mulling about. Have less aggressive expansion than I would otherwise imagine. We have a 61 war score. We can separate peace out with Rhodes. The rest, I think, are essentially client states or feudatories. And then there's Egypt as well, and there's no way we can separate peace out. I was, at the end of last episode, thinking of heading down and taking some territory here out of Egypt. But even as we have 61 war score, and we can hardly, just barely sort of take this territory, it doesn't really seem particularly worth my while to continue. What I was thinking of, as long as I'm going to war, I'm going to be more border gore friendly. Perhaps we could go and take out some of Macedon here in central Anatolia, Cyprus and whatnot, and just sort of leave this area be. It'll take a while to get there. My armies inevitably become exiled. Sometimes you can get carried away, wander down here, spend a lot of time. Macedon is right here. He's allied with the Bosporan Kingdom. There may be another way to trigger him. I haven't looked into it particularly deeply. I may have some errant claims in these areas here. Athens comes to mind, perhaps. That would still trigger the Bosporans, though, I think. Let's see. He's allied with Macedon. So just Macedon and... we don't have a case of spell. Well, we're going to go for the whole gusto here, I'm thinking right now at least. And we'll have to deal with the Bosporan Kingdom, which is a bonus. We can take these areas out. And take some Macedon Anatolian territory without, going over here and then sieging down and coming back. He would inevitably call up, heavy levies and whatnot here. There could be some back and forth. We'll save this raise here of his capital territory for later. A cash infusion or whatnot. So I'm going to move these troops over toward the border. Go and occupy this last Rhodian territory. Hopefully separate peace out with him. And call it a day. I just got this merc here online. I let another one go. I think we can get maybe another merc up here. Or maybe just Leviize whatever pops up. Or I could call up satellite status here and get another merc army available for hire. And call up one of these units here. This one should do. We've also identified a critical need for incense. We have some here and here. Let's check the borders. Let's see. Who are you associated with? Let's see. Olby. So we'd want to take this territory of Macedon near the coast and get a claim going against Olby so as to acquire that incense. I think. Let's do that. Let's bring this merc on here as well. And get him moving it this way. We stumbled onto a large army here. It's on the prowl. We're not going to worry about that army. We're just going to close out this war by heading here. Let's separate peace out here. And we should be able to peace out here as well with Egypt and company. There it is. We've used all but one of our positive modifiers. We're taking this right through here in a tiny island somewhere, I think here or whatnot. We've done it. We're about as well positioned as we're going to be. Quite a few armies here. Some unit reorganization going on, we'll not worry. Let's declare the war here. Uh-oh. Our war goal is off in yonder. We have this area in Cyprus as well, unfortunately, so I need to redeploy one of these armies. This one is after the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, so we'll rule him out. That would leave you. It's going to be a messy war. We're going to do it anyway. We'll do it right now. We'll take that. Good for me. Maybe Cyprus is even better yet. We'll go for this one. The land-based one. Let's get moving here. Let's see where you can go. Yikes. I think this unit is just going to head down in this direction. And if anything pops up here, we'll dispatch it. I feel a disbandment coming on almost immediately. And then we'll pick up a merc closer to the action. And call up a levy right here. We'll go across that strait there. She's not very good. I see. Another levy. We can't do it. We won that victory over here near the Athenian capital. Let's assault this fort immediately. This unit, let's get him on board. And head over to our war goal. So we're going to head down here to the capital and have our other merc go from one capital to the next. No one has popped up here. Good for me, except this tiny levy. We took this occupation, going to take this out and then siege Chalcedon there. I'm going to assault the mausoleum here. We've done it. Let's get here immediately. We're about to land here. Let's get off the ship here and take his capital. We'll go up that river, take his capital. Assaulted this fort. We just dropped it. And let's see, there's nothing going on here really. There's no armies. Let's let this guy go. We'll go head down here and dispatch this fellow. I'm going to assault this fort with our mercenary. And everything else looks to be generally in order. Let's see if we can assault this as well. We dropped a siege here. Chalcedon as well. Chalcedon. Let's see where to go and what to do. I think we can probably let this merc go here as well. We can sue Athens for peace as to whether they agree or not. They will do it, and we now have a mausoleum in Halicarnassus with 4A. 5% unintegrated cultural group happiness modifier. Let's see what that did to our pops. I think we have the -10 pop happiness going. So we're not exactly the most happy group, but let's see. That's a primary culture slave, and he is... Slave promotion prevented. I see. Well, I have more than a few of these provenances or territories set for slave promotion prevented. I didn't pay any mind to the Maoists. Although we're doing all right without the 10% here, we should be all right. Theoretically, our wonder is about to increase in power as well, and it'll offset this 0.03 downtick. And the slave promotion will allow us to move all these pops at some point into our mega region of Illyria. We're trying to make as many cities and get the legion count here as high as possible in the whole of the region of Illyria. We've taken its capital. Let's assault this fort. The month is about to take over, so our bonus to loyalty should show up. Let's go here and see about our mausoleum and what it's doing for our pops here. Well, in theory it does something, but in practice 0% is 0%. Let's assault that fort as well there. Drop this siege. Let's head over here. We've done it here. We've caught that small levy up here in the steppe. And we have a 54 war score in our... Well, I haven't had any problems at all, really, with this war whatsoever. Some time has passed. We're still in the middle of that war. I'm going to build this great wonder. Nobles, generals, and citizens. She has a 5% bonus. She's a bit corrupt, but we'll live through it. Build it right here. Looks like it will be ready March of 599, about 5 years out. Let's separate peace out here. Let's force march into the Lycian capital. Let's assault it. Boom! Let's get on board here and head over towards this capital territory here. We caught this army out. He just beat down our levy. We're going to return the favor. The war is winding down. We're forced marching into this provincial capital. We'll head over to this fort, assault it, and then perhaps call it a war. We can separate peace out with these Lycians here for 3 AE. We'll take it. And then Mac here. Let's see what we can grab. There's one more fort I need to down. I have this Merc. Let's assault. What's that? Yikes. Well, this is good enough. I was thinking there was a fort right here, but there was some... we weren't adjacent to this broken up province or whatnot here, so this is a very good peace arrangement, and we will be able to carry on with our warring activities once our claim hits here. Well, as we're right here and this claim just hit against Olby, I'm going to use the claim. Unfortunately, I had to cancel my access. Oh, look at that, I can do it. Okay, so I canceled my access. The month has rolled over, and we can trigger these border gore heavy combatants right here and clean up this whole area. Let's do it right now. We can, let's see, we can force, get in here. This is a city. I believe it has a fort. No fort. How about you? We'll go to this capital area. We'll get down here. This should be really quick and relatively pain-free. We have a lot of units about. Let's head in here. We'll go right there. Let's get you here. Let's assault. And assault. And assault. And assault. And assault. And assault here. And assault. 2 months later, it looks to be all over. I think we can peace out. We should be able to take all of it. We can't as yet. Well, a separate piece we'll try here. Let's do it. Let's do it. And you. We can separate piece out here as well. And we can take this as well for 2 aggressive expansion. So we lost 2 months of AE burn, but we got 2 aggressive expansion off our total for the second minus 0.5 AE per nation that we absorb. So I think we may have gained some sort of AE loss relative to what could have had, and we have incorporated these territories into our nation. We can export their goods, specifically this incense, I believe it's here, to our capital. I moved a sufficient number of pops here to create a surplus of incense, and we can export that to our capital. It should help. I built some slave mills there as well, so they don't all promote up and we'll lose our ability to export. Along those lines, let's go ahead here. Let's see, we only have, we have 2, 1 and 2. I was thinking on what to do. We probably could have another war in us. If we were to attack, say, Armenia, we could trigger this vassal up here, Alania, or if we attacked Legia, we could trigger Armenia and attendant vassal there. But why should I really? If we're going to get the War of the Spear at some point, all it's going to do is cost me money and stability. Really, I want to get these territories essentially as loyal as possible before I go on the War of the Spear rampage that I may or may not go on. And as a tyranny as such, we don't really have any war ability to abate the war exhaustion at all, really. Our various rulers support pretenders as well. We've gotten, this is the second batch of all female offspring, and they become sort of squirrely relative to supports and such. Luckily for me, I have sort of a solution. We have the law here that I've never been able to trigger this, at least that I can recall, in a YouTube game. I think I've done it once before that I do recall. So we now have this statute in place. We get a 20% AE bonus and a 25% ruler tick, and we can nominate an heir. As to what exactly that means, I don't know. It would seem as though we sort of have to pay anyway, but we could anoint the one that all of these nobles are supporting. I'm going to let the month tick over. The zeal is such. The base was 8. I give a +2 bonus to all the characters. I've only given it to the rulers, based on their lack of ability to have decent stats as the game continues. Normally you're supposed to have the heir tutored or build some wonders or whatnot. I'm not going to do any of that. I don't care for the hassle of tutoring the person, and I don't want to build the wonders. And I just gave a +2 across the board to all my rulers. I think that the game flows much better, and that triggered the 10 zeal, so good for me. We'll carry on with that. See if we can anoint the ruler free of penalties. I'll be back in as the month ticks over. It doesn't seem to have done anything. There's no appoint button or anything here. Let's see if there's a special button. Everyone seems to want a Gothoclea. And this should actually be 100, as we have the law. We should have the law, but don't. That's unlocked right here with our what is it? Noble Envoys. That should unlock the Might and Majesty law, but it's bugged. It doesn't. All of the detailed changes that I've made to the program via console are detailed in the playlist if anyone is interested. But more to the point, we could anoint this person, and then the legitimacy should be 100, so that would lower it to, what would that be, 75? We have to pay 15 PI, so this sounds as reasonable as not. We'll see what happens there. What is that? Right, right. Let's do it. Let's see if culture happiness. Boom. Macedonian culture. Okay, well, it's not Macedonian. Whatever the case is, she's done it. She's older though. They all like her, I see. Alright, so I looked at the succession and I noted that this was the only kid that these two had had. And he is in very poor health and not married. He's the governor of Asia. Why he's not married, I have no idea. The great family's not marrying them make me crazy. So I married him to another character, adjusted her age via consul, and maybe they'll have some kids. I noted that our successor here was married and only had the one kid in very poor health, so I created 5 more kids or some such. And that's that. I've been married. This guy is dead. Let's see here. I think this guy, he's dead. She's married because I married her. And that's, yeah. And then there's another here. She's married. She has a child. Good for us. So that's that. I'm going to sit around here and have these armies stationed in this area. We just mull about and drill and see if anything comes up. Mostly I'm looking to burn down some aggressive expansion and get back to my city building festival here in the region of Illyria. All these units are stationed. Provinces are food friendly. We'll just wait and drill. This one is food friendly, I think, as well. It is. Our Wonderkin is finally upgradable. I'm going to upgrade it immediately to level 4. So this loyalty went from, I believe, 0.7 or 0.6 to 0.10 down the line here. Loyalty, corruption, and governor loyalty, reinforcement, speed, and morale recovery went through the roof from 15 and 6 up to 20 and 8. And our taxes and commerce income as well as import routes went from, I think, 10 respectively to 15, and then who knows the import routes, but we can't do it. We lack the 1900. I'll be back. Alright, so we have it now, and we can change that immediately. See what that does to our loyalties. So they're still headed down, but not really all that hard. Some of them are because we have the 10% malice, and a lot of these slaves are denied promotion. Well, we can always pop this 0.5. We can lose 20% commercial bonus and get plus 0.5 provincial loyalty, which is something I think I might do. Oh, we have a breakthrough here as well as just a recent advance, and that's 2 that we can action. Let's see if we have any more on the way. Not really so much. We go here to Woo General. It's useful, and then 1 not so useful, maybe useless, or we can go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So we're really close, but there's no reason to take the Woo General right now, or this improved maximum opinion, so we'll just wait. I'll let the burn, the AE burn down. There's nothing going on here, I don't think. Let's put the heir here on one of these stacks. One of these generals died, so we'll get her drilling back again. And there's the loyalties are such here. Let's see, 83, 80, and 66, no problem. Pretender or not. And I'm just going to burn through the... let these guys drill, burn down the AE. I have a lot of claims about in a lot of different places. From the PI surge that we got about maybe a couple years back. I think most of this area is sort of claimed. Some of this area here as well is as well. As is Armenia. I think Legia we have a claim as well. We do. And a couple on Egypt, so far as I know. Yep. So I'm going to accumulate political influence again and move some of these pops that have been surely assimilating and converting from here, maybe down these long provinces and such into these cities which have a huge capacity, some of them at least. I built some aqueducts. We need more. The capital territory here is I think in need of primary culture for promotion to citizens. I think essentially most of these guys, there's a great many various types from all the warring we've done, and they're not promoting to freemen, and then they don't promote to citizens because there's not enough primary culture. So I need to get some primary culture to the capital so that they can promote to freeman and then up to citizen. So along those lines, I make a lot of money, so let's do that. I just checked. I haven't looked here at all. It looks as though they're all primary now, so there are quite a few pops that can be moved down fairly readily. One, let's see, move them all here, then there, here, and that's close enough, really. And then here's where we got to do a double move. Well, it's going to be some doing, but I'm going to do it. So here's the path. They started here. They go to Dur and Honorita here. And grab all the pops from that province, and then this long province from there to here, into Sorota, into Clandate, to the capital. I'm moving the pops about, and I've noticed a provincial loyalty bleed, and it's becoming concerning relative to my future plans. So I'm going to change out the policies here, take a commercial income hit to a provincial loyalty bonus. Our commercial income really wasn't, it's still at 53% bonus, so we really only lost maybe a third of our bonus. Let's see what a 221 goes to. We lost about 25 or some such. We make plenty, we'll not worry. But the loyalties are not bleeding really, at least as badly. And once that 10% malice goes, they'll probably stop bleeding it entirely, hopefully. Been shuffling pops about. Our wonder has completed early. We can take 5 stability. Yeah, 5 stability, we'll have that. And let's see, we have food here. Sort of curious exactly how many pops are in these various areas now. So 2,000 in our capital. The region has 3317. We need more, clearly. I did sort through the pops here, and was able to get almost the complete. They're all primary culture, so these guys will promote to freemen, or the freemen will assimilate and convert or promote to citizens at some point. So that should work. So long as I keep a primary culture slaves, at some point all of these guys will assimilate here. Let's see. So all of these guys who are not primary culture are either, well, they're freemen. They must be freemen because they can't be citizens or nobles, as we built that city. So all of those freemen are going to need to promote, or assimilate, and then promote. What does our wonder do again? Nobles, generals, citizens. So our generals will be even happier than they were previously. 69, 81, 83. We're about a half an hour in. Let's take a look at what we've got. These guys are still on drilling detail there. And where our aggressive expansion has come down to a reasonable level, our stability is about hovering even. And we need to get this tyranny down in hopes of unlocking the technologies or innovations necessary for the War of the Spear. And the war exhaustion is going to be such that we're going to need to juice it or bring it down with the invoke devotio. We have a fair number of primary culture pops up in this area. I've removed what primary culture pops there were from here and brought from here and whatnot, brought them down to this capital. We just saw there are about 3,000 or 3,300 pops in the Illyrian region. I want to get more there. These guys are all primary, and I think we can move some of these pops over to these cities here. It's about the size of it, really. Nothing really going on. We make a lot of money. And I'm going to continue to move pops and let this AE burn down. We may address the Roman situation again. I want to de-incentivize them from this area. I want to take what's left of Sardinia and Brutia and Sicily from him so that he will build us some cities up in this area. I think he'll still be a major power after we take this from him, so we'll not really worry. Carthage is finally expanding here into Iberia. Egypt, a major power. Seleucids, definitely a major power. Spearable. I think even Armenia is a major power here. It doesn't look like much, but it is a major power, and we could spear it as well. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope to see you in the next one.